What do you do professionally? How do you sort of characterize your profession?
Well, I think like I'd say I'm a podcaster first,
Right.
right? That's where I started. But overall, I'm a digital tastemaker.
What does that mean?
To be honest, Steven, I hate saying influencer.
Yeah.
So let's go with a public personality. I make people laugh, basically.
And I guess what's the opposite of that then? Sometimes it's easier to understand something by understanding the opposite. What would that look like?
I think the perfect representation would be like literally me before I was doing all this. Um, I wasn't a social person. I was insecure. And like, if you said I'd be doing all this a year ago, I wouldn't even dream of it. So I think the opposite would be that, like a straight introvert.
In your view, you talk about being nice and being kind. I've heard you talk about this on your podcast. What's the difference between being a nice person and a kind person? And which one should I aspire to be?
Oh gosh, I love that question. So on the pod, we're big on mental health and being the best version of yourself. And I think the both are very similar, right? Well, at least the people watching, we'd be like, oh, well, that's the same thing. But so like if we break it down, right? So being nice is people pleasing. That's not always a good thing, right? You're kind of like conforming to the social norm, right? It's just social behavior. It's like, oh, I'm just being nice.
Ugh, yuck.
Yeah, it's yucky. But being kind is like sort of empathetic, right? It comes from a place of empathy. So to answer your question, being nice is complimenting someone's outfit, even if you don't like it. And being kind is telling someone a hard truth because you actually care.
You must get a lot of messages from a lot of people pleasers.
Oh yeah, all the time.
And what is it they want from you?
I think they want to learn how to be less people pleasing. That's the short answer. They're looking for someone to talk to about it.
Yeah.
And the slightly longer answer is that they see where they want to be in terms of like just the future person they want to be. And it makes them think like the idea of being a public profile looks independent and confident, right? So that's what they want. And it's like if you're a master in this game, you're seen as non-reliant on others' opinions, which automatically makes you less people pleasy.
And what do you think is the sort of variance in outcome? How would my life change if I became an absolute master in this? You know, if I started from zero in this regard, and then I became a master in dealing with conflict and dealing with difficult people and dealing with people that gaslight me and dealing with narcissists and all these kinds of things, why would my life be different? And in what domains?
I think to answer that question, you got to know who you are before being a master, right? So like you, Steven, aren't the best example because you're already in the public light. But I think the average person who isn't in the public, I think it could go two ways, right? Either you love it.
Oh, yeah.
And you're more confident, or it's a case of insecurity and anxiety. But if we're looking in a positive light, I think being a master makes you better at communication. You're less likely to give off a bad impression because you're so aware of the worst opinions due to you being in the public space.
What is it about our communication, do you think, that makes us accidentally disliked by other people?
It sounds fake.
It sounds fake. And how does it sound fake? Give me some color.
Yeah. So this is where like, okay, Steven, there's moments where we're not as focused at making the first impressions count. I mean, we could have been having a bad day or whatever the case may be. Like, you could think of a moment where something you said kind of made.
Yes, before you even said, I thought of the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Like almost instantly you remember, like, we know it's not good because we're not giving our undivided attention, right? So that's where we might sound fake.
So I'm going to push you to close, to give me the 5 things that you think are most important for anyone who's striving to be a masterful communicator, conversationalist, to get what they want out of life, which is really what I think is the last domino when we talk about body language or communication tactics, or all the things we're talking about. I think people are trying to get something out of life.
Yeah.
Whether it's to have a better relationship or to be respected or get a promotion, to be successful. I think that's probably the output we're looking for, ultimately. Do you agree with that? I don't want to...
Yeah, I agree, for sure.
Like, what is it that... what's the last domino that people are looking for when they talk about this stuff up here?
Self-worth.
Self-worth, okay.
Like the thought of like, am I enough?
Am I enough? Okay. So what are the 5 most important things to summarize? If you had to give me 5.
Well, I mean, I've said this before, but just to reiterate, first one is authenticity. Second is reduce distraction. 3 is stop over-explaining. 4, learn to handle sadness. And last but not least is learn to handle insults.
We have a closing tradition where the last guest leaves a question for the next. Question left for you is, who are you most dying to meet and why?
Great question. I could say something fancy, but I'm just going to say family. Yeah, it's the truth.